So what about if we had a fractional percent, right? How do we express this as a decimal fraction, right? So the first thing that we have to do is we have to convert the common fraction into a decimal fraction, right? So now we take the 7 divided by 16 and we get 0.4375%. Okay, so if I just wanted percentage, I know that this is 43.75%, right? Because I would have to move the decimal back the other way, right, to figure out. But we know that if 0.1 is 10%, we know that 0.4 is 40%, then we know this is 43% or 43.75. So this is why, anytime there's any more than 2 decimals when it comes to percent, right? Anytime there's more than 2 decimals, whatever's the third decimal, right? So it'd be 43.75%. But what we normally do is we don't usually give decimal percentages. So we would take this number, this 7, and it tells us what to do with the 3, right? We round it to the full percent. So we would actually make this 44% if we were solving it. But we're not doing that right now, right? We're trying to take a fractional percent. We're trying to turn it into a decimal. So again, all we do is we divide the 7 by 16. We move the decimal 2 places to the left, not the right, because remember, we're converting to a decimal fraction, not to a percent. We're already in a percent right here. We want to convert it to a decimal fraction, so we have to go the other way. So we move the decimal from this position, right, which is here, 1 space. It was here, so 1 space, 2 spaces, and we drop the percentage sign. So 7/16% is equal to 0.004 as a decimal fraction. Let's turn the fraction 3 2/3 into a decimal first, okay? So we turn the 3 2/3 into 3.667, right? So remember, the 3 gets written, it's not a fraction, it's a whole number, so there's a decimal beside it right here. So 3 and then 2 divided by 3 is 667, okay? Rounded. This is 6 infinity, but we'll round it 3 decimals. So next, if we drop the percentage sign and then take the decimal and move it 1 place and move it a 2nd place, the number we end up here with is 0.037. 0.037 is the decimal fraction equivalent of 3 2/3%. Now, think about this. If remember what we said about percentage, very first thing we said about percentage, that if we take, remember that big square and we divide it into 100 pieces, the big square is equal to 1, right? We divide it into 100 pieces, so we do 1 divided by 100, we end up with 0.01. 0.01 is 1%, right? Well, if we look here, this is a 3, right? This is 3%, 3 2/3%. So if 0.01 is 1%, then 0.03 has to be 3%, right? And this is the remainder. So this is the decimal equivalent of 3 2/3%.